Hi everybody, welcome to Pep's Creativity Scene. I'm sorry about last week. I was not able to do a live stream. Life was a little bit busy and time was not on my side, so there were some complications. But today I'm here. It's very late, I know, and I'm very sorry about that. I did choose to oversleep a little bit, and once again, time got away from me. As you'll probably come to recognize, I'm not the greatest with time management. Alright, so let me put myself on camera for y'all. Hi. So I'm trying a little bit of a different lighting thing here today because, again, it's later than I usually stream. Usually have a lot of natural light coming from, there's a window over here and, like, obviously the one back there. And I don't have any. So I have a lamp, and it's kind of casting an interesting kind of light. It's okay. It's all good. So that's what we're working with today. So I want to welcome you all. Today, as a heads up, our product review will be about hot beverages. I realized when I covered all my drinks I liked, I skipped the hot ones, which isn't fair. So I decided that I would backtrack and share some of my hot beverages with y'all. So that's what the product reviews will be focused on. And start off with our blessings. So I have more than 3. It's been 2 weeks, so I do have some stuff to share with y'all. So first of all, I go to a neurologist who's a headache specialist, and he suggested that, I try taking my medication in a different way to, preventatively to try and keep the headaches from being so horrible. And so, stopping them from actually starting. So I started taking my Ubrelvy earlier and trying in a preventative fashion, and I do think, except for last week when I unfortunately had a lot of headaches, I do think it actually has worked really well otherwise. So that's a major plus. That's a very big blessing. He also suggested I take a magnesium supplement, which I started this week, and I'm already feeling a pretty good difference in my body, not just headache-wise, but I think I'm less swollen, which has been something we've been trying to deal with for several years. So I'm very happy. As they're big blessings, as they're health blessings. I'm also discovered recently from my psychiatrist. We did a genetics test called GeneSight to see which medication would be best for me to treat my depression and anxiety and OCD, and discovered. I'm seeing that there's a shadow on my lens here. It's bothering me. I may have to move the light. I'm sorry. Brain fart. Focus. We discovered that I have almost zero folic acid in my body, and then that could really be contributing to how effective the medications are, because folic acid plays a critical role in your nervous system and in the medication and sphere of mental health working. So, with that in mind, we have added folic acid supplement to my regimen, and it is already helping immensely. I can't tell you how much less depressed I am. It is awesome. So, very good news, all positives there. I was able to have my MagnaWave therapist come back out and take care of my horse, and she's doing a whole lot better as well. Joint-wise, she didn't really give out much at all the last few work sessions. I'm so happy. I was seeing a great improvement in her muscle build, and she's gaining muscle. The workout routine that we started seems to be really helping her and benefiting her and working for her, so that's also a huge blessing. Yeah, so just a lot of great blessings all the way around. Though for those of you who do pray, I do have a major prayer request. During this time of year, because the seasons are shifting from summer to fall, my mom's MS tends to flare up, and she has a hard time gauging what to wear clothing-wise, and the temperature can be a serious problem. So I would like to ask you if you would be willing to pray for her, just for the relief of pain. She's always in pain, but it's a lot worse when the seasons change, so that'd be a huge, huge blessing to me, if y'all don't mind. So anyway, those are my blessings and my prayer request tossed in there. Shall we jump into this week's adventures? So yeah, I do want to apologize. Last week I just did not end up having the time, or you could say making the time to do the stream. There are other things in life I had to deal with, and the weather was a bit chaotic too. So, this week, we're doing better. So, or at least I'm trying to. The weather looks really nice this week, and that's a major plus. Alright, so we are going to start off with our poetry corner. So welcome to the Poetry Corner. Let me get those poems up for y'all. Just a second. As usual, a little bit slow. Alright, chat, you're gonna have to go down. Alright, so as previously stated before, this is, all the poems I'm reading are my own poetry. They're my original works. So just so anybody's wondering, I'm reading my own poetry. Here we go. This one is titled A Journey of Faith. Losing, falling, where's my godding? Lost, looking, always learning. Grasping, holding, hope returning. Broken, hurting, love enduring. Knowing truth, increased discerning. Wasting, dragging, lost ones adding. Running, winning, race is ending. Loving, serving, faith maturing. So, if you couldn't tell, this is a poem about your faith journey as a believer in Christ. So it's a poem about the race that we run that's set before us by God. So it's ministering to others and using, giving our lives back to Him so He can use us for His glory. So this is sort of, this poem is supposed to be, my words are not working today. An example, basically, of the faith journey. Not exactly like word for word what happens or how things work, but it's, we go through times of difficulty where you doubt God, where you're not sure, where are you doing, but you know, the key is not to give up, to keep looking, to keep seeking Him, and in so doing, hope returns, and you get stronger in your faith. And even when you're broken, He loves you, and he uses the broken pieces to make something beautiful. And and as we are healed, we are called also to reach out to the broken and bring them into the kingdom, to bring them closer to Him so He can heal them as well. So, and as we do these things, our faith matures. So the poem actually said it better than I just did, but that's what it's about. Alrighty. Getting the next one up for y'all. You're going to see a trend with these because the poems today are all very similar. Well, the first three, I should say, are all very similar. Alright. A chemical reaction of faith. See? So, there's a connection. Alright. You can rise. Try to touch the other side. Let your fears subside. There's nothing too far to reach. You can rise. Try to touch the sky. Let your fears subside. There's nothing too far, nothing too hard to reach. You can rise. Try to touch the other side. Let your fears subside. There's nothing to hide, nothing too hard to try. You can rise. Try to reach the other side. There's nothing too far, nothing too hard to believe, to achieve. So, this poem is basically a song. But again, I'm not, I don't think of myself as a very good singer, so I'm not going to sing, but it is basically a song. And it's about basically not giving up. You can do this. Like, it's meant to be an encouragement, you can do this. You don't give up. Keep trying. Keep doing it. You can do it. So whatever you're pursuing, don't quit. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let the people who still believe, who want to beat you down, stop you. Just keep going. So I'm gonna get my little friend. Or I need someone to fidget with. Don't quit. Don't give up. And that's basically what that is. And I called it a chemical reaction of faith because I was thinking of it from the perspective of even when you're in your darkest place, like, don't give up, don't lose faith, don't stop doing what God has called you to do. Keep going, and you'll reach to the finish line. You'll reap what you've sown. You'll achieve your reward, if you will. So yeah, brain is really not working well today, so these descriptions are probably not great, but that's okay. So yes, that's what that one is about. It's a cool little song. I guess I could try to sing it for y'all, but I'm gonna pass this time. I'm not sure. For one thing, my allergies are really bad, and for another, I'm just not sure the tone was I was going for, like the tune, I was going for there. Oh, scattered today. Alright, so continuing our faith journey, this poem is entitled, God, Where Are You? Angry, anger, broken, brokenness. Don't you care? Abandoned, frustration. Aren't you there? Loneliness, isolation. Don't you hear? Yes, he cares, with all his heart. Yes, he's there, right where you are. Yes, he hears all your cries and tears. Surrender, trust, be with him here. So this poem was written, obviously during a difficult time in my life where I was dealing with something really hard. I was feeling like God wasn't there, like God didn't care, like he didn't hear me, like he's left me in a really bad and dark place and just deserted me. So this was me expressing that pain on paper. But also paying homage to the psalmists, to David and the other psalmists, and reflecting back on who God is in spite of how I feel. So I may feel this way, but he is still here. He does still hear me. He does still care. And though it's the hardest thing to do, the right reaction when one is feeling so far away or so alone, and like God's abandoning you, is to surrender and trust and just come and be and sit with him. And one of my favorite songs, which of course I can't remember the address of at the moment, is one where it says, like, be still and know that I am God. So being still is really hard for me. If you haven't noticed, I've already been moving a whole lot physically, but I'm not just a physical mover. My mind is always moving too, and it causes some serious issues when you're trying to be still. It can take a lot of focus and concentration for me to just go, okay, God, I'm focusing on you. I'm focusing one spot right now. It's really hard. It's good practice. It's really good mental stimulation and exercise, but it's very difficult. So I wrote this sort of as my version of a psalm, and also to remind myself that in those dark places, he is still there, he does still hear, and the best thing to do is surrender him, trust him, and sit with him. And that's really hard, but it's very beneficial. So that's what that poem is about. Right, moving on. I'm watching a lot of British television, so if I start talking British, that's why. My horse hates it. It's really funny. If I talk British around her, she gets very upset. She does not like when I talk British, which is weird because I do use Spanish words around her too. And for some reason, she does not mind Spanish. She does not mind German. She does not like British. And I'm like, but she also doesn't like certain kinds of music. She's picky. Anyway, moving on. Back to poetry. A lack of impersonation. Make sure that I got this all the way down. Okay, yeah. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm still trying to figure out myself. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm just trying to understand myself. So, I read that one a little fast. I realized that as I did that. Let me read that for you one more time. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm still trying to figure out myself. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm just trying to understand myself. This is an expression of my inward struggle. In my life, I have tried over and over again to please people and be somebody I really am not, just so people will like me and I won't feel alone and I'll be accepted, because everyone wants to be accepted. Secretly, we all do. And as I got older and as God began to grow me and work in my life, I realized that it wasn't worth it. That trying to be someone I wasn't just to make people like me only caused more pain for me and for the people that I was turning on, that I was bullying in return. I was becoming a worse person, and it wasn't blessing me or others. And in the long run, I really wanted to help others. I really wanted to be a blessing to other people. So I had to unlearn how to please people and relearn how to please God and be myself. those things are hard. That's a really hard lesson. So this is a poem, it's over here on the screen though, that I wrote to remind myself that, it's okay to be yourself. It's too hard trying to be someone else, because it's hard enough being yourself and trying to figure yourself out. So learning to love yourself. It's a difficult journey, but that's what this has to do with. And that's why I called it a lack of impersonation. All right, next one. All right, this one's interesting. Also pertains to the life experiences I've had, as probably all of them do, if you will. Why the hate? I'm not perfect. I don't try to be. I don't get it, why people like to hurt me. Why do they want to put me in a box like a rolled up sock and tuck me far away? I don't get it. I don't want to spread the hate. I just want to be okay. I want to be loved and seen, appreciated for the things I've done along the way. I don't get it, why people like to be so mean and cause such pain. Okay, so this is a poem I wrote when I was dealing with one of the many times I've dealt with this, being bullied or emotionally and mentally abused by other people. So this is how I felt in the moment. Like, I just didn't understand, because I was never mean to these people. I didn't do anything to hurt them. But all of a sudden, people who had been like good friends to me would just turn around and be really mean and really harsh and just like kind of want to throw me away and throw me aside and forget me. And so this is just me expressing, like, I don't understand. I just want to be loved and seen and appreciated just like everybody else does. I don't want to spread the hate. I don't want to cause this dysfunction or this pain. I don't understand why everybody else, I don't understand why certain people do this. Like, why are people so mean? Why do they do this? And it's just sort of me expressing, like, I don't get why people do that. It's pretty straightforward, I guess. It really doesn't need an explanation, but, I gave you one anyway. And it is an expression of how I feel and how I felt in the past experiencing that. I could see there's lag in this stream, so I apologize. There's a little lag. So my words and my lips aren't lining up. No, they're okay. I apologize. Usually the internet is really good, but it might be a little laggy today. I am such an ADHD person today. So not focused. Okay. A new beginning. This is a good one. All right. My life was a broken mirror. Hold on a second. So I meant to edit this line, and I didn't. Forgive me. Just give me a second here. I'm gonna edit this line here. Okay, I think we'll stick with the original line since I can't remember what I was doing. This is why we write things down. Okay, restart. A new beginning. That's appropriate. My life was a broken mirror, but you turned it into a chandelier. Hope was a dimly lit candle. Now it shines bright and clear. My peace had all but vanished. Now it permeates the air. So I'm reading this, I'm going, I have several edits, and I didn't do them before I wrote. Okay, well, you guys will just have to bear with me for a second here. First, I need a drink of water, and secondly, I'm going to try that again. We're really having some oopsies today. My giant water jug. Okay. Here we go again. Alright. My life was a broken mirror, but you turned it into a chandelier. Hope was a dimly lit candle. Now it shines bright and clear. My peace had all but vanished. Now it is ever present here. Joy has replaced my sorrow, and happiness is finally here. My mask now seems so fragile. What a temporary veil. When love enters your heart, it makes everything so clear. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to read them and not talk about them unless I feel there's a need to, because I feel like when I talk about them, I kind of take away from the beauty of it at the moment. So I do really like this one, and I'm sorry, I just needed to do more editing before I read it, and I didn't. And that's on me. So I got some interesting experiences there. Okay. Let me see here. The next one. Yeah, you have to listen to me do this 8 times. A desperate cry. Stressed and strained, little strength remains. Pushed and shoved, about to begin. I'm so not doing well this today. I apologize. Oh man, guys, Okay. Stressed and strained, little strength remains. Pushed and shoved, about to give up. Hope destroyed by all the violent noise. Truth obscured, lines have been blurred. Justice cries, joy weeps. Must I admit defeat? So, actually, I will give a little background on this one. This is, it has to do with personal struggles, being stressed, dealing with the difficulty of feeling like you're just going to give up and cave in, all the depression, the anxiety, various things in my life that weigh me down and make me feel like I can't keep going. But it's also sort of how it's, I wrote this during the time when I was looking at politics of our country and just feeling like, wow, this is crazy. So, yeah, it has 2 meanings. Alright, so next one. Oh, this one's interesting. Alright, so this is not one of my happy ones. Here we go. Alright. In the end, are we found? In the end, we're lost causes, dreamers without dreams, friends without allies, pianos without strings, artists without sonnets, and prophets who can't see. In the end, we're lost causes, dwelling among the lost things. Who will see us, pick us up, and rethread our broken strings, inspire our next sonnets, and help us see what the future could bring? Only the one who sees our sorrow and seeks to heal our lost and broken dreams. So, in case you can tell, this is a poem about God picking us up, coming alongside us, restoring us, giving us purpose. It's another one that's kind of like a song. Basically, saying that in the end we're all lost causes. If we don't have God in our lives, we're just kind of like, it's just, Ecclesiastes, I think it is, Solomon talks about how it's just tireless work under the sun. It's pointless, because there's no point to life. Without God there's no point. So it's just, tireless work. That really doesn't, produce anything lasting, which is sad. So I do, I like trying to, I like writing poems that point me back to the Lord, because a lot of times my mind isn't there. So something I would like to highlight is that, yes, I'm writing a lot of these poems have to do with my faith, because my faith is a part of my life. But I'm not writing them because I've got this figured out, or because this is easy for me to just surrender and trust and, okay, I just give it over and it's all fine. I'm writing them because it's hard, and I want to remind myself that I can do this, and that this is what I need to do, and that this is true. All those kinds of things. Like, I'm trying to remind myself the truth, because it's really not easy at all. So I don't want to make it sound like, oh yeah, I've got that figured out, because I don't. Because I don't. So I don't want you all to think, oh, she's all good. She's got this all figured out. She's good. No, I don't. Trust me, I do not. And I think that actually is our end. Believe it or not, you made it. You survived. I blundered my way through that one. Okay. Well, let's bring our chat back up. Boop. There we go. Hi. Okay, so that's the end of Poetry Corner, which was rough, to say the least, but okay. We survived. Alright, I believe it is now time for the Art Loft. Alright, so let me get that up for y'all. First, I'm going to go ahead and go in here momentarily and close out all of these because no need for the computer to be running extra stuff. There you go. Alright, now I'm going to get these pictures for y'all. Make sure it has arrow. Yep, okay, we're doing good. Alright, so now I'm going to go to screen share so y'all can see my screen. It's going to look weird. I actually have to put chat down again. But here we go. Screen share. Ooh, it's the endless tunnel. Okay. So today I'm taking you on a continued journey through my small brown sketchbook, and of course the spiral notebook that I have that I drew in, and we're going to look at a couple big pieces of art from my art class, as usual. So today we're starting off with a pen and ink drawing, predominantly done with the brush tip art pen. This is the face of Pikachu, which is why I wore my Pikachu shirt today, partially, because I thought it was very appropriate. I'm actually very proud of this. I did this like 12 years ago, but I'm still very proud of it. So this is one of the drawings I really like. The only oopsie is, if you can see my cursor, down here at the bottom, there's this little smudge. If you're wondering what that smudge is, it's because I drew on both sides of the pages of my sketchbook for a while without realizing that ink will transfer to the other pieces of art, and yeah, so I got a smudge. It's not as bad as it could be, but I was like, oh, rats. Alright, so I was hungry. I'm gonna prefix that with this because it's true, because I was very hungry. Hold on a sec, guys, I'm gonna make sure. Can y'all see what yeah, you can still see what I'm doing. Okay, I just want to make sure you can still see, because sometimes, yeah, sorry. Sometimes things disappear. Okay, apologies. I'm scattered today. Yes, I was hungry. This was the day before my brother's birthday, actually, 12 years ago, and I was very hungry. So I was drawing my sketchbook with a ballpoint pen. So this is all ballpoint pen. There's no other medium used here, and I was hungry for ice cream, apparently, and chicken. Feel free to be disturbed, I suppose. I thought it was cute, but like I kind of do look back on this and go, and then I have like, this is like a sherbet ice cream, and this is like a regular ice cream, like vanilla ice cream, so it's vanilla cream and Riley Rainbow. I do stuff like that all the time. And I was hungry, so but yes, so there's a couple of chicks there, and there's a chicken wing, or drumstick, I should say. It's probably in bad taste, actually, but yes, so that was all done in ballpoint pen. Okay, so this was my first attempt at drawing caricatures for horses that were at the barn where my horse was at that time. I wasn't pleased with it. I didn't think the sitting one went as well as I was hoping it would, but it was my first attempt, and I did want to share that with you all. It is done, the sketch there is all done in ballpoint pen. Alright, so this is actually what I decided to do. So in the end, what I decided to do to make the caricatures of the horses was to have them all standing. So I would sketch them in ballpoint pen. You can kind of see some of the sketch marks here. I would then ink them in with an art pen. And then I would use marker, mostly Crayola markers actually, to add color to various parts of them. So there you go. This horse in particular, her name is Glitter. I do not know if she's still alive, but she had a brand which is called a freeze brand. So a little history on horse brands. So, and cattle brands too, for that matter. When it comes to branding animals, the old school way to do it is, of course, to burn a hot poker kind of that's in the shape of, it's a hot metal object in the shape of your brand. You get it really hot, and then you stick it on the skin, and you leave a burn mark, which basically is like a permanent scar. So you just scar them so you can identify that they're yours. It sounds really bad, but in the West, especially back in the olden days, it was difficult to determine whose property was whose. So it was very important to have some means of discerning that, and they would use branding as a method. As branding methods have advanced, these days we now have the lip tattoos that most thoroughbreds have, for instance. That's a popular way to quote-unquote brand, because it's definitely leaves less of a mark on the animal, and it's easier in some ways, but still you have to get inside the horse's mouth to see it. The other option is a freeze brand, which if I remember correctly, is kind of the exact opposite of a hot branding. It's basically a really cold symbol that's pressed into the horse. So it's kind of like they've freeze the skin and the hair, and that causes the color of the hair to change, so it grows in white, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. I probably should look that up and give you an accurate description, but I'll do that when we get to the online portion of the stream. But anyway, so yeah, it's a freeze brand here on her shoulder. That's the ranch she came from. And then for each caricature, I included their name somewhere on the drawing, as well as a symbol on their hip to represent their name. So her name was Glitter, so I put a little golden ring there. This horse is Cotton, so you can see I put a little cotton blossom there. Done obviously in the same way. All the characters were done with the same method. Ballpoint pen sketch, pen and ink outline, and marker coloring. This is Aspen, which is another horse that is on the property. I tried to capture the horse's unique markings as best as possible so that it would be easy to identify that they were different horses. She had some very distinct leg markings, so I went in here and made sure that they were as distinct as possible. Aspens are a type of tree, so that's a leaf from the tree. And you can see she had a very unique tail, and always one part of it had a black streak in it. So this is Huckleberry. Now this one is hard to take a good picture of because it's a very dark drawing. She was Bay Roan, beautiful horse, just absolutely beautiful. And you can see I tried. It's very hard to see, but there's a little Huckleberry there. And she was a special horse. She had a lot of good skills. She just needed a good job. My mom loved her, and I rode her for a while. She was very active. She's a fast one. Alright, this is Mandy. Since of course Mandy is a name, I just put an artistic M here with a little diamond shape, little jewel. Mandy has passed away. She was a solid Appaloosa, actually, so where she looks like a black, and she looked black when I knew her too, she was actually a solid Appaloosa, which is a rare coloration for Appaloosas, but she had the hooves and everything, and they had the breed information and all that, so it's kind of cool. Alright, this is Sigma. As far as I know, she is still alive. And yes, her name is spelled exactly like the Greek letter, so I just put the Greek letter on her hip. Sigma's really cool. She's been through a lot of adventures in her life, from my understanding. She was a lesson horse when I knew her. Before that, she was a broodmare, which is a horse that's bred for babies and everything. And then she was a show horse before that. She did Western Pleasure and I think some hunt seat, some English hunt seat. So yeah, she's done a lot of stuff. And at the moment, she belongs to a nice family, and they kind of just ride around on the trails for fun. So she's got a good life. She's in her 30s. As far as I know, she is still alive, so she's like in her 30s. Because I knew her at 25, and that was 12 years ago. So you do the math. That's a long time. Alright, so moving on from the brown notebook. This is the, from the brown sketchbook, this is my notebook. So I was in, the mood to draw Pokemon vibing to music. It all started with a Torchic drawing there at the top, and then it just kind of spiraled. So the drawings you'll see today from my notebook are all Pokemon jamming to music. So we have Torchic there, we have Eevee, we have Piplup, we have Zigzagoon, and we have a Caterpie, and I thought it would be hilarious to give Caterpie the giant headphones, just, for the fun of it. As you can see, I used a lot of pen and ink techniques here, and all the drawings were done with art pens, pen and ink art pens. This means including the sketching, as you can kind of see, some of them are pretty roughly done, but they're mostly meant to be fun sketches, so no biggie there. This continues the trend. There's another Pikachu. This time giving a thumbs up. I don't think I had a Pikachu. Maybe I had no, it was Eevee. It was Pikachu giving a thumbs up. There's Doduo. I'm very proud of the Doduo one. I like that one because the headphones on both sides. Then this was my attempt at drawing a seal, which really didn't go over very well, or an otter. I forget what I was trying to draw there. It was either a seal or an otter. It's okay. It's not wonderful. And this was my attempt at drawing, sort of like a little, actually, I don't know what I called that. It's like a little, kind of like a takeoff of a stunky, but not exactly. Sort of like a cross between like a skunk and another animal, and I forget what it was, honestly. But it was kind of cool drawing, and then a few years later tried to replicate it, and actually replicated it pretty well. But I am pretty proud of this. I think it's a cute little caricature, so there you go. Alright, so the next drawing, this is from art class. I'm sure this one's much more interesting to look at. It's more wow. This is a colored pencil drawing, so it was done with a pencil outline and then colored pencil over the top. This is a puppy, clearly. So I think it's a golden retriever or a lab puppy. I forget. It was a drawing that was done in art class as everybody did this assignment, so it was in the art book that we were all working from, and I was actually pretty proud of how it turned out. It's not my best drawing, in my opinion, because I feel like I could have done better at blending everything and the shading and stuff, but I've never been the best blender of shading, to be honest. But I look at it and I see, okay, all these things need to be edited. But in all honesty, it's a pretty good drawing, so I wanted to share it with y'all. And this, final one for the day, is another color pencil drawing, drawn in pencil, the outline that is, and then overlaid with color pencil. This one I'm much more proud of the shading. As you can see, I blended everything a lot better, and it almost looks like icing. So I'm very proud of this one. Also done from our art book, and in art class, everybody did this particular picture, so not a whole lot to say about it, except that I'm very proud of how I blended there. It's miraculous. Okay, so I bring this back up for y'all. Hold on. Go back to me for a second. Hi. Okay. Bring up our chat again. Alright, so hi, everybody. Things are going a little fast because TV is like not all here today. I'm really not all here today myself. Okay, so since I'm a little lost today, here we go. So that is our art loft. Alright, everybody. Thank you for joining me on that journey. As I said before, I have decided that I'm not going to do artwork for y'all at the moment because I don't seem to do well with the time at this time to get that done. So that will hopefully be something I can do in the future for all of you. But for now, we'll just share the artwork I do have. It is now time to move on to the photography room. So welcome to the photography room. Let me get that up. Sorry, I found a hair on myself. Always shedding. Alright, photography room. Let me see if it's working for y'all, because I don't know if it's going to. It should. It is. Good. Awesome. So here's our photography room. Here we go. Alright, so this is a picture of the open house that was done at the barn where I'm boarding my horse. This is before everything was completely finished, but they wanted to do an open house because it was mostly finished. So as you can see on the floor here, they don't have the pavers, the rubber pavers I've told you about yet. And there aren't mats in the stalls yet either. But this is I'm up on the staircase that leads up to a little loft office space, and I'm taking a picture down into the barn. And that's another picture of that. And I'm going to jump for a second here because some of these pictures are family pictures, so I don't think my mom would appreciate if I shared them with y'all. So, oh, I was wrong. There was still some more to see. Okay, hold on. I'll give you a better view of the stall in a second. The technical difficulties and my brain are just wonderful today. Okay, so there are a few more to see here. Yep. So that's a good view of the stalls. You can kind of see into the one there. They're pretty big. The doors slide. It's really nice. That's the rafters. So you can see it's insulated up here. We've got lots of lights. This makes it so when it rains, the insulation keeps it from being a very loud sound because it is a metal roof. Let's see. I do really like this. This sign is actually hanging in the tack room now. Go where you feel most alive. It's a very, very good sign. I like that. Alright, now I'm gonna think now is when I need to do this. Just hold on for me. Just a minute, guys. My apologies. There are family photos. Yep, I thought so. There were some family pictures taken, and I don't think Mom would want those all over interwebs. All over the internet. Here we go. So we're back. Alright. So this is one of the roses. My mom has 2 rose bushes, one in a pot and one in the ground. This is the one in the pot. This rose is very fascinating because when they first bloom, they look like this, and then they like gradually change color before the bloom dies. So it's interesting. There's a bud. It's very pretty. Alright, so back to the barn again. So these are the big fans that are installed. Now when they originally were installed, which is when I took these pictures, they were not installed with any kind of dimmer switch or anything, and they were just like jet turbine loud, as well as just blowing shavings and everything everywhere. So they weren't usable up until recently when they got edited, and they put dimmers in them so that they're less powerful, but now they're almost too weak to do any good. So it's a really mixture of situations here. But yes, that's one of the big fans. You can see the rubber pavers are down at this point. This is again back in July. By now, at this point, everything is pretty much done. So I'm kind of walking you through the past. You can see they're not fully done with the pavers as they don't come all the way up to the stall doors, but the majority of them are in. There's a picture of the doors. The doors are just amazing. This beautiful glass panels at the top just let in so much light, and it makes you feel a lot less enclosed. I really appreciate that the barn doors aren't just a solid sheet of metal, because it can feel kind of claustrophobic, even for me, to be in a space with the doors like that. Over here, this landing is where I was standing when I was taking the other pictures. Yep, so here you can see, I took a picture of my feet. You can see the pavers in comparison to my feet. There's the feed, well, I don't know if they're buckets, but they're feeders, the plastic feeder tubs that are removable. As you can see, they have these clips, which will allow them to be taken down and washed after the horses have eaten from them. I like this so much better than the ones that get screwed into the wall because they're hard to keep clean, and it provides the insects with a great breeding ground, and you just get a lot of bugs. So I do think it's a very smart decision that they went with that kind of bucket. This is the fan in proportion to my foot. So when I'm saying it's big, and so you understand, my foot is 9.5. I wear like a 9.5 shoe most of the time, so just so you have a visual aid there. It's a very big fan, like it's huge. All right, we stopped at Chick-fil-A. This is the same day, I believe, or one of the days I was out with my mom. This is a stop at Chick-fil-A. I wanted to take a picture of my cup because I actually don't do that very often. But I wanted to, just like, hey, look, I'm thinking about it. I should do it while I'm thinking about it. So I did. Chick-fil-A is one of my favorite restaurants. So that should be more of a surprise. I haven't done that more. And then, okay, so this is actually, I think it's at the CVS pharmacy. We were running errands, and I found this massager for your finger. And I really thought of my dad because his thumbs tend to get stuck. They tend to stick. He has, I don't think he's been diagnosed with arthritis in his thumbs. He does have it in his back. But I think his thumbs just get stuck sometimes while he's typing. And since he's a professor, he does type a lot. So I saw this massager, and I was like, dude, that would be a cool thing, A nice massager there. So I took a picture of it so I could remember and possibly get it as a Christmas or birthday gift. I'm going to plug in everybody because I think my computer is about to die if I don't drop the cord again. There you go. All right. Nice. So yes. That's what that is. Lots of exciting pictures today. There's my girl. I believe this photo was taken in August. I think we're in August now, but I'm not positive about that. Yeah, so there she be. I think I'm sitting on the mounting block and she's standing with me. We do that usually at the end of our workout sessions. She's so pretty. She was staring at someone or something. I like that one better because you can kind of see her eye, but she has this expression of, There's my girl. She was so pretty. I wanted to get a good picture of her. And there she is. This was back before the barn was finished, so we were standing at the trailer that used to be parked by the arena, as you can see. She was standing so pretty, and I want to take her picture. We just finished all her grooming, and she was ready for her treats. She loves food a lot. And she was like, "Get me my food, Mama. I'm hungry. Give me my treats." I, needless to say, do spoil her. Probably too much. There's another picture of her. And then there's the pretty sunset that was at the end of the day. And I think that's everything that I wanted to show you today. Give me one moment and I'll double check that. Oh, not quite. I was wrong, as I have been a few times now. Yep, okay, so now I know where the end is. I do try to plan this, believe it or not, I really do, but I am, as you can see, a fly by the seat of my pants person a lot of the time. Alright, try that again. Here we go. Okay, so this is the sunset. It's another picture of the sunset. You can kind of see how pretty the fields are here. More sunset, more pretty sky. And then this is kind of looking from, I'm actually standing by the porta potty at this moment, but you can see more of the fields, and then there's some heavy equipment. All of this is gone except that the dumpster is just in a different location. It's at the front of the property, I think, now instead of by the barn, but like all this is gone. Like all the equipment is gone, because everything's done now, and all the gravel is more properly laid and everything. It's a nice parking lot. So there will be pictures. There will be, maybe I don't have any. I should take some. There are more, it's more finished now. But anyway, there you go. That's the barn. And that is the last one. I swear I do know what I'm doing. Kind of. Okay. Back to me on camera before I make it even worse. Oh, this stream is fascinating. Okay. So, that will conclude our photography room. I did so well, not at that. Okay, so we've got our photography room. Let me scroll. Ah, yes, it is time for our product reviews. So, as I said, we're going to do hot beverages today. I'll prepare you guys for that. I do want to, I know that sometimes, my brother's told me this because he streams, that people actually appreciate when you're real and you're streaming, and it's okay, like, if you flub a lot, but I feel really bad, guys, for them flubbing so much today. I'm so sorry. Like, this is really not how I wanted that to go. Alright. Anyway, so we're going to start our product reviews. As usual, you're going to see the Facebook tab come up first because that's how this is set up to work. And then we'll get done. We'll get her done. Alright, so product reviews. We're going to start with almond milk, and you're going to be confused because you're going to be like, why are we starting with almond milk? And I'm going to be like, okay, well, let me explain. So, hot beverages. I enjoy tea now. I never used to enjoy tea, but I do enjoy tea now. But I've always loved hot chocolate. So of the hot beverages I've consumed in my life, it's primarily been hot chocolate. So, I wanted to give you a little story on how I make hot chocolate. Because I am not really lactose intolerant, but I'm dairy sensitive, I do have to avoid actual milk, which is a sad thing. It can be in stuff, like it can be baked into things or an ingredient as part of something, but I can't consume milk raw on its own, or pasteurized, I should say. Like, I can't just consume milk by itself. So I use almond milk primarily as a substitute for milk on my cereal, my granola, and for hot chocolate. What I've discovered is that almond milk makes an excellent base for hot chocolate, way better than water. So what I do is I will heat up 8 ounces of almond milk in a little saucepan on the stove. And when it just starts to bubble a teensy bit at the top, kind of simmering, if you will, I'll turn the heat down a bit. But I did skip a little part there. So something I learned very quickly about hot chocolate is that the hot chocolate mixes you buy in the store, they're okay. But making your own is not only more fun, but more delicious. So what I like to do is I will put 8 ounces of my almond milk in it's a glass pitcher, but that's not what it's called, in a beaker. And then I will add a serving of chocolate sauce to it. So, it's called sauce, but like chocolate syrup, that's the word. I'll put chocolate syrup in one serving, which I think is 2 tablespoons. I'll use a whisk to whisk it all together until it's nice and all mixed. Then I'll pour it in this little saucepan and let it simmer, get it nice and hot. When it gets warm enough, I will take 2 or 3 chocolates. I vary them. Sometimes I take the 3 Musketeers minis and put 2 or 3 of them in there, or I'll put 2 or 3 chocolate Hershey's Kisses in there. I varietize it in various flavors of chocolate kisses, and I'll drop them in there one at a time, let them melt down into the drink, and then to cut the richness right at the very end, I will add a peppermint, a literal peppermint. I just take a mint, like one of those little Starlight mints, and I drop it in there, let it melt completely inside, and mix everything together, and it's so delicious. It's got rich chocolatey flavor with just a little bit of peppermint. If you want, and I might do this anyway, I might include that recipe for y'all in my description when I post this as a VOD, because then you'll be able to do it too. This is a particular favorite brand of mine. Almond Breeze makes, in my opinion, is one of the best almond milks from Blue Diamond. Makes Almond Breeze, and it's one of the best almond milks. Prefer to get the unsweetened when you're going to make your hot chocolate, because the sweetened will be too sweet with all these sugar things you're adding, just as a heads up. I did that by accident once. It was really, really, really sweet. So, yeah, get the unsweetened. But I do like either the original, which has a sweetener in it, or the unsweetened for, just general milk purposes. So that is my story about making my own hot chocolate. But the story that started all of that is a little bit less complicated. This is chocolate almond milk. This is a shelf-stable one, but you can buy it like the same size as the one I just showed you, and the same kind which you store it in the fridge. So you can buy it both ways. But the chocolate almond milk means you already have the chocolate components, so you don't have to add the chocolate syrup, for one. But for two, this is actually what started it all. So 2 of our closest friends, my brother's best friends, and they're my closest guy friends. They're twins, and they have some very serious allergies to gluten and dairy and food coloring and several things. So they have to avoid a lot of foods. When their mom would make hot chocolate for them back when we were all kids, she would buy chocolate almond milk, and she would heat it in a saucepan on the stove. It was the best hot chocolate I had ever had, and that's what actually inspired me in the future to make my own concoction of almond milk hot chocolate. So I wanted to share all of that with y'all. And before I move on, I did forget to include a hot drink in here, but it's not something that you could really easily, find a product for, if you will. I could have, but I didn't. I forgot to do so, so I'm just going to tell you about it while we're on the almond milk tabs here. And that is a honey lemon drink. So honey lemon tea, as my mom calls it, is something that she has made for us for years. I forget who gave her the recipe. It was a family friend, I believe. But my mom's made this for us for years to treat the sore throats and coughs and everything whenever we were really sick. Honey lemon tea is excellent for a sore throat and drainage and coughs and whatnot. It is so delicious and easy to make. All you have to do is get a tablespoon measurement, have some lemon juice, either from concentrate or, fresh if that's your preference, and some honey. And what you do is you put, believe it's 3 of each, so it's 2 or 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 or 3 tablespoons of honey, and you put them all in the bottom of a mug, and then you add hot water to it. You heat water up either on the stove or kettle or however, and you add that to it in your mug and wait a little bit, stir it real good with a spoon, and ta-da! Honey lemon tea, and it is amazing. It really does work. It's not hard to make. It's delicious, and it's very beneficial for your throat, especially if you're dealing with a sinus infection or a cold or a virus or whatever. I highly recommend that, and I may include that recipe as well in the description of this live stream when I post it as a VOD. But yeah, so I just wanted to harp on that real quick. And that gives me a great transition point. So we're going to move on to a lemon tea that I actually do enjoy. And so there'll be a background for that too. This is Stash Lemon Ginger Vitality Tea. Oh, they want to give me a promotion. Hold on. And little background. So, I was never a tea person. In fact, I always thought tea was kind of weird tasting. The only tea I'd ever really liked was actually fixed by the same lady who made the chocolate almond milk into hot chocolate for her kids. Her name was Lisa, and when Miss Lisa made tea for me, she usually made me lavender tea when I would come over sometimes, and it was actually very delicious. But I was never really a huge tea fan, to be fair. Just, it was not my thing. Not sweet enough, too herby, just not my thing. So, I had a sinus infection. It started in December and lasted for 4 or 5 months. That was this year. It was the end of last year into this year. And it sucked. It was horrible. I couldn't actually, function very well. And I struggled so much with just being able to breathe. I was congested, and I had all the drainage in my throat, and my throat was sore. It was hard to swallow. I didn't want to drink anything because it felt weird. So I actually started using the honey lemon tea recipe I just told you about. And we, at one point, ran out of lemon juice. And I was distraught. And I knew Mom wasn't going to make it to the store for another couple of days, and I knew I couldn't make it through without, some sort of honey lemon combination. So I found this actual tea, in her cabinet. My mom has a cabinet full of tea. And I found this tea, and I was like, okay, it's lemon, and maybe it'll work. So I took it, I put honey with it, I added the hot water. I did the same 2 to 3, I think it was 2 tablespoons of honey, and I added the hot water, and it was delicious. I can't tell you how wonderful it was. It was surprisingly wonderful, because this tea doesn't just have lemon in it. As you can see, it also has ginger, which is really good for your stomach and for inflammation. And to top that all off, it doesn't just have those things in it either. I want to show you everything that it has here. It has zesty lemongrass, ginger root, citrus flavors. There's some ginger, lemon. Oh man, I can't, it's not giving me the actual ingredients. It was doing that earlier for me. Hold on, I'll find it. Probably easier to go here in the pictures. Yeah, there you go. It's got ginger root, lemongrass, natural lemon flavor, hibiscus, citric acid, safflower, and natural ginger flavor. It is amazing. I don't even like ginger, but I like it in this tea. It tastes like it has a little spice, which is just perfect, and it sort of soothes you. The ginger is actually very soothing even for your throat and for your stomach. The lemon is awesome. The hibiscus gives it this incredible, extra flavor. It's a little extra tartness that complements the lemon, while also kind of giving it a little sweetness at the same time. It is just so good. And I have just fallen in love with this tea. This is an excellent tea. And even when I got over the sinus infection, when the weather was still cold, I was still enjoying this tea. So this is a very, very good tea. I highly recommend it. Lemon Ginger Vitality is what it's called. It's caffeine free. I try to avoid caffeinated beverages because caffeine has a rather negative effect on my body. Yeah, it's an awesome product. 5 stars. I am very, very impressed with it. Definitely. So I wanted to harp on that. The next tea I want to show you is from a different brand. So this is another tea I discovered while I was having a sinus infection and seeking relief, because I needed 2 cups of tea a day in order to actually be able to eat, drink, and function. That was how crappy I was feeling. So I was just invading my mom's tea cupboard, her tea cabinet, just exploring it, and I found this Tazo tea called Passion. Well, I love the hibiscus in the lemon ginger vitality tea from Stash, so I thought, this Tazo passion tea might be good because it also has hibiscus in it. It has orange peel, it has rose hips, it has passion fruit, which I also really love passion fruit, and just a little cinnamon. I was like, that sounds good. Like, I'm gonna give it a try. It is amazing! Oh my gosh, my mom doesn't like fruit teas, but I love them. And this tea was excellent. Unfortunately, she only had like 3 bags of it, but boy was it good. Like, I loved that tea. But it was really hard to find the hot version of it, so the tea bag version of it, because I guess it's just rarer. So most of what you find in the store is this one, which is the iced passion, which is to make iced tea, obviously. But it's the same ingredients, it's the same flavor. So what we discovered was we could buy the iced passion and put 2 or 3 tablespoons of it into the cup ahead of time with honey and with the lemon, and then I add water. So every time I make tea, I put honey and lemon juice in it. And then I add the little bag, and then I add water. In this case, I would add 3 tablespoons of the concentrate and then add water. And it tastes the same. It's delicious. So I do highly recommend it. If you like fruit and you like a little bit of tart from the hibiscus, a little bit of like the sweet tartness of it, this is a really tasty tea. I love it. And you can get the iced, and you can get a whole lot of the iced, and it's not super duper expensive either. So just an option if you're interested. Obviously, I'm looking at these products on their website, but you can buy them at various places. We usually buy them like Walmart and Kroger or even Ollie's, stuff, places like that. So Tazo makes really good tea. I'm very impressed with the passion tea, especially. Another Tazo tea I discovered while Mom actually she was at Ollie's. She bought several Tazo teas, and this is one of the ones, and it was and still is delicious. I didn't expect to like it. She got an elderberry blackberry one, and I expected to like that one, but I actually didn't like it at all. There's something weird about the flavor. It wasn't sweet at all, and I did expect a little bit of sweetness, and then it didn't have much fruit flavor even. It just didn't taste good to me. But this one, the juniper mint and honey, is excellent. Again, you'll see that I'm focusing on herbal teas without any caffeine. And this one has, obviously, juniper berries, mint, and honey in it, and it is delicious. The mint is just a little subtle extra. Mint is really good when you have a sore throat or congestion. It's really, really good for both of those things, so that's a blessing. So is honey. And the juniper berries give it just enough sweetness and flavor. It's perfect. It is delicious. It's inspired by the Rocky Mountains, which I also love, so bonus. But this is a really good tea. I definitely recommend it. It's juniper mint and honey. It's really tasty. Sorry, I was looking at something. Okay, moving on. This is my favorite, though. This one right here is another one Mom found at Ollie's at that same time as the juniper mint and honey and the elderberry blackberry. This, inspired by the Southwest, as you see, is prickly pear cactus, and this is delicious. You will notice the ingredient here, it's got hibiscus in it. Hibiscus flowers make excellent tea. Now, you need a specific kind of flower because just your run-of-the-mill hibiscus flowers don't actually make the tea. They're a specific kind you have to have, but hibiscus tea is awesome. And when you add stuff to it, like lemon or passion fruit or orange peel or prickly pear, it just makes it even better. So the prickly pear is very tart. And the hibiscus's tartness yet sweetness really lends itself in a wonderful way to this particular tea. This tea is also a pretty pink color when you make it. It just tastes amazing. It's got this nice tart sweetness to it. It's vibrant, wakes you up. It makes you feel good, even though it has no caffeine. So I really love this prickly pear cactus tea. It is awesome. Delicious. So highly recommend. If you like tart and sweet, I've got some teas for you. Moving right along with the fruit tea theme, another tea I discovered in my mom's cabinet during my time of sinus infections, although apparently you won't let me scroll for you. Wonder why. Oh, there you go. I got it. Alright, this is the Bigelow Perfect Peach Tea. As you can see, another herbal tea is caffeine-free. The Now, of peach teas, this is my second favorite. This is not my favorite. It's my second favorite. The Perfect Peach Herbal Tea gives you peaches with cinnamon. So it kind of like a peach pie almost. The cinnamon is a little bit much for me, but the peach flavor is still very delicious. It's kind of, again, like very fall-esque, and it gives you a nice, like, kind of like having a peach pie kind of taste. I love peach, love the flavor of peach, and it is a great peach tea. And again, love fruit teas. So this just gave me another fruit tea to enjoy, and I was all over it. And again, she already had some of this just stashed in her cabinet. Then she had this as well stashed in her cabinet. This is my favorite peach tea. Country Peach Passion Herbal Tea from Celestial Seasonings. This peach tea is heaven. There's just no other way to put it. It just is. It is delicious. Aromatic, floral, and sweet. That exactly describes it. It is wonderful. It has peach flavor, floral chamomile, and I think it has something else that they said. Yep, citrus. So citrus, peach, chamomile. It's very soothing, it's calming, it's delicious. Man, there's nothing negative about this tea. This is my favorite peach tea. It's got a peach brightness to it that makes you feel good, kind of like the prickly pear cactus one does. So it's awesome. Love this tea. And you'll notice I don't pick very expensive teas most of the time. I'm a pretty low-key person when it comes to, I'm not a tea snob. Alright, this one is different. So we're breaking the fruit pattern. This tea, along with several other teas made by this company, are teas my mom keeps in stock as essentials for when we're ill as well. So not just the honey lemon tea recipe, but she also keeps certain teas stocked for when we have health issues, when we're sick or something. This is one of them. This is Breathe Easy, as you can guess it promotes respiratory health. It says so on the box. Breathe Easy tea from Traditional Medicinals is, I would describe it as kind of like drinking mint, but it has a nice little sweetness to it too. And I always add lemon and honey, so I always get a little pop of lemon, a little bit of fruit, which I like. It's very, very good for opening your sinuses and soothing your throat when you have a sore throat and you have congestion and everything. It's excellent for that. There's also a cold care tea, which is really good, and a throat coat tea, which is really good if you have a sore throat. So they make some, as the name implies, medicinal kind of tea products, and they're very, very good. They're not always cheap, but they're very good. And Mom usually tries to buy them when they're on sale when she can, and she keeps a stock of those particular three, just in case, if anyone needs them when they're not feeling well. It's a very good tea, not my absolute favorite, but it was very helpful with the sinus infection. And the last tea I want to harp on is actually a Simple Truth Organic brand, which is a Kroger brand tea. Chamomile with vanilla and blueberry is delicious. It has a really incredible blueberry flavor. Like, I was honestly surprised because blueberries don't have a whole lot of flavor. They're kind of subtly sweet, usually with a little bit of tart. But this particular tea, it is delicious. I was impressed that they got so much blueberry flavor in it. The vanilla adds a little bit of sweet, and the chamomile is very soothing. It's a very good tea. It's a different kind of fruit tea from my other ones because it's much more subtle and sweet and not so like pop and tart. So I wanted something different. I got something different. It's delicious. As you can see, currently out of stock, but it is a really good tea, so I wanted to highlight it for y'all. And that would conclude our hot drinks. So yes, I do like my tea sweet. I always add 2 tablespoons of honey and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to every tea bag I use. But I actually really like tea, and I never thought in my life I would say that, but this year changed all that. It was a lifesaver, and it's delicious. So, bringing this up for y'all. Alright, go back to me for a sec. Alright, so yeah, that concludes our product reviews for today. So, like I said, I'll include my hot chocolate recipe and the honey lemon tea recipe in the description of the VOD for this live stream. It'll be posted on YouTube later, probably within a few hours or so after we're finished. So that way you'll be able to make this tea and hot chocolate yourself. Of course, you could always just go buy the chocolate almond milk and heat it up. It's also just delicious that way for hot chocolate. This is good stuff to give you at this time of year. Fall's coming, and of course, the cooler weather is coming. And when winter gets here, you'll have some ideas of delicious things to drink. So, all that being said, that concludes our product reviews for the day. So, I think it is time for us to move on to our quiz time. Yay! Let's get that slide up for y'all. I do have a new list of quizzes for everybody today. So here's quiz time. Let me get this up. I'm going to close some tabs here so we don't have as much lag. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to get quiz list up for y'all. Okay. So what I want to do first is I'm going to show you what the quiz list is so y'all can see. So let me get to where my screen share thing is. Oh yes, there you are. Okay, here we go. Alright, so today we have what music style are you? What Chronicles of Narnia character are you? What Pasheen character are you? What evolution are you? Which is an evolution of Eevee. What Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door character are you? And what Uncharted character are you? Nice. Alright, so let's get the show on the road. It's quiz time. Alright. Let's get dice roller up here. There we go. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we got, everybody. Roll. Number one. Number one is, what music style are you? Alright, we're going to find out our music style. Alright, guys. Here we go. I'm going to double check to make sure you're seeing it. Yep, you are. Awesome. I like it when it comes up. It's a good sign. Which music genre am I? Let's see if BuzzFeed's working today. You never know. If it's not, we have you quiz. So let's see if BuzzFeed's working today. You just really never know. We have to let it load. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I know this isn't going quite as well as usual, but that's okay. Things don't always go as we plan, and certainly this day has not gone as I planned it. But that's alright. We're still alive. That's a good thing. We're gonna have some fun with some quizzes. I just really, honestly, did not ever think I would love tea as much as I do. I'm not a tea connoisseur by any stretch, but I love fruit teas. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. Most people don't know which music genre they are, and it's rarely your favorite. Find out which genre you are. Alright, what's the best way to listen to music? Alone through headphones? In the car? Live at a concert? Or from a record player? That's a toughie. I'm not a concert person. Though, excuse me, I might be if I went. I've actually never been to one. I don't know. I'm gonna probably go with in the car, because I think that's where I listen to my music the most, honestly. Oh, did I glitch it? Let's see. Maybe. I might have. It might not be working today. Alright, let's try that again, guys. Let's try that one more time. Maybe if he doesn't tap anything too early. Ugh. I'm trying not to, but, you know, I am patient to a point, but it really depends on what we're talking about, how patient I am. I'm not as patient as I could be. Definitely can work on my patience. Alright, we let it load this time. It should go better. Phoebe's jumping the gun on the things. Oh, maybe not. Nope. BuzzFeed doesn't want to work for us today. Some days it just doesn't want to. Today is one of those days. Okay. Well then, let's see what new quiz is like. Remember, we always approach this with a air of caution. Because sometimes it's weird. Pep. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So this is not about which genre you like most, we're simply vibe checking what genre you would be if we all got reincarnated as musical concepts. Interesting. Right. So the I do want to explain, I do keep calling myself Phoebe, and that is my actual name. I've tried not to do that, but I do keep doing it anyway. So my nickname is Pep, and you can call me either one. Alright, so start the quiz. Avocados. Thoughts? Oh, a mango. An avocado, thanks. Avocados are good because they're green, and you know what else is green? Let's see. Although toast is good, only no, I will not be taking questions at this time. The downfall of the housing market. Where would I be as a person without guacamole? Okay, so I'm not really an avocado person, to be honest with you. So we'll go with mango because I actually like mangoes. I know that's not what that means, but okay, pick a vibe. My mother said that I was holy. My father said that I would burn. My mother said I was an angel. My father said that I would turn. I'm assuming this is lyrics from a song. I had to guess. Just if I had to guess, guys. So let me see. Let's just go with this one. See what happens. Let me see here. You're lying face down in an upscale hotel pool, blood oozing out of your head wound aesthetically. The night air is as still as your halted breathing. What song is playing in the background? Wow, okay, that's dark. Vivaldi's Four Seasons. I actually do know Vivaldi's Four Seasons from school. Any TikTok song, tennis court, literally anything by Hans Zimmer, cherry wine. I really don't know any of these songs. It's not sad. I guess. I guess we'll go with Vivaldi's Four Seasons. I do know that, but I really don't know any of the other ones. You're skydiving. Why? I agree with that question. Why would I be doing that? Daunting death. I wouldn't be skydiving. Well, my friend, family member, loved one's life depends on it. Okay, possibly for that, yes. Playing skip rope with the red strings of fate. I want to personally and sincerely say, oh, man, don't like that language. Someone paid me like a ridiculous amount of money because it's fun and, nope. The fate of the world depends on it. Well, that would be the second one because skydiving ain't my thing. That's too much of a thrill for me. The second moon has appeared in the sky. Name the moon. Language is interesting. This is why I don't go with you as much. But okay. I'm running. I do not want to be a Murakami book. Luna. The thought of having to pick a favorite moon is terrifying, so I'm choosing to wipe my brain through this concept rather than answer. I'm gonna go with Luna. Window nook for reading or big windowsill plant garden for your babies. Give me a big, beautiful nook with lots of worn cushions and strong sunlight for hours of lazy reading. Plant's gonna have a lovely succulent party corner and some baby flowers that will follow the sun's path and some leafy air purifying greens to balance it all out. Bold of you to assume a reading nook or plant corner is safe from my feral gremlin cat. Well, I don't have a kitty anymore. I would probably have a reading nook because I am allergic to pollen. Talk to me about Endgame. I have Disney Plus. Endgame was a study in character assassinations and inexplicably terrible screenwriting. The dots didn't connect, the maths don't add up. In this essay, I will. You think I watched Endgame? Honey, I'm gay. Okay. I'm too pretty to know what this is. Ugh. Hate the language. What I want to talk about is the heat death of the universe. First, let's start with Katie Mack and how in love with her I am. Okay. These are weird questions, guys. Just gonna say that out loud. Although maybe they're not weird for some. They're just weird for me. Okay. I do not have Disney Plus. I think the second one is probably the most accurate. Endgame is not. I mean, actually, to be fair with you, Infinity War would be the one I would say was messed up. Endgame was actually a lot better. I think it really, I'm just mixing names up here. Endgame was actually a really good movie, in my opinion. But I'm just gonna do the second one. But it fixes a lot of Infinity War's flubs, except for some things which I think are ridiculous, and I won't get into that right now because I was raised a Marvel kid, so trust me, I could go on forever. How often do you clean your room? Oh, that's a dangerous question. I shan't use the vacuum mop too often, otherwise it will get dirty, and I don't want that. When I have people coming over and I need to pretend to have executive function, my parents, partner, friends shame me into cleaning it. Like every 1 to 2 weeks where I am a normal, well-adjusted individual. Definitely not that one. If I can see the dust, it is on... If I can see the dust, it is on site, and I am busting out the vacuum immediately. No. I have never cleaned my room in my life, and I don't intend to start now, nor will I... No, I will not be taking questions on this matter. Maybe once a month, I don't know. My room doesn't really need to be cleaned that much. I think the top one is probably most accurate for me. I don't like cleaning because as soon as I clean it, it gets dirty again. So the top one or the second one. I'm not a very clean person. Yeah, as far as like cleaning my room. How do you die? I don't know. At this point, I'm thinking probably of a concussion. I have like 10. Horse sports. People who say that equestrian life is not a sport do not know anything about riding horses. It's very intense. Anyway. Wanted to pet a dog despite being deathly allergic, died of cuteness, but also anaphylactic shock. I don't care, but it's gotta be fun and fresh and dramatic. I am diving headfirst into an active volcano from a little jet plane, and this is being live streamed on my Twitch. No. Terminal illness, surrounded by my friends and family, a dramatically shot hospital bed, pristine white walls, and ominously beeping machines and all. Doing something ridiculously dumb, like trying to hotbox a car with no knowledge of cars nor hotboxing. Okay. Couldn't care less, so long as I am at the center of attention, maybe... Nope, I don't think so. I ate a bad egg, spring roll, food of choice on a dare, now I am dead. Okay, well... Well... Yeah. I'm gonna go with the terminal illness option right now, though to be honest, I don't really want to pick any of them. So there we go. Quick, easy, funky ways to swerve the convo. Go. Send a thumbs up. Okay, sweaty. Bold of you to assume I have thoughts. I'm baby. I'm too pretty to know what this is. Haha, okay. Okay. I don't know any of these. I do send a thumbs up sometimes. Or I guess I could say bold of you to assume I have thoughts. Either one of those would be accurate. We'll do the thumbs up. I don't know. Not very good at this, am I? Country. That does not surprise me. I love country music. You're cool, you're sexy, you're criminally underrated, you haven't met someone who you haven't annoyed into loving you, and most people think you're a little cooked upon first meeting you, but you're an acquired taste who's actually very agreeable with others. It's not your fault that your vibes are disorienting and tainted with bad media. I don't know if I agree with the description, but I do like country music, so that works. Okay, then. Well, that was a ride. Okay. Dice roller. Where are we going next? Number 2. Number 2 is, what Chronicles of Narnia character are you? Okay, well, give this one a shot. I like it when it pops up. That can be a good thing. BuzzFeed does not want to work for us, so I can try again. We've had sometimes it just doesn't want to work. Like it's frustrating because I prefer BuzzFeed over UQuiz because UQuiz is concerning. They're not all that way, but like people have language choices I just do not choose to engage in. I'm sure people have problems with the way I talk too, so to each his own. Oh my gosh, you can find which Squishmallow you are. I love Squishmallows. So that's kind of fun. Yep, it just doesn't want to work today. Some days are like this. We can try refreshing it and see if it works. But sometimes BuzzFeed just doesn't work. I do not know why. Because you'll remember, I think a couple streams ago it did the same thing. It just didn't work. I'm very hesitant to click on humor because people put stuff in there that's like, just no. Nope. It doesn't want to work. We tried. Love the effort. The effort was there. Alright, let's see what this one's like. Not used these folks before. Pro Profs quizzes. Okay. If a kid is being beaten up by a bully, what do you do? Call the teachers, beat up the bully, sigh and walk away, talk to the bully and convince him or her to stop, plunk them over the head with your torch. I'm only laughing because I can't say I haven't thought about doing that. Man, it would be a draw. I would either call the teachers or talk to them and convince them to stop. Let's do that one. Okie dokie. Which of these describes you? Loyal and sweet, strong and mysterious, leader and brave, courageous and witty, gentle and cautious. Well, I fit 2. Loyal and sweet and gentle and cautious. So we'll go with loyal and sweet this time. If I asked your friends which of these would be your fault? Bossy, not adventurous, too gullible, materialistic. Fault? Too gullible, I'd say. Pick a weapon. Warhorn and my bow and arrows, my best friend, my favorite horse, my voice. Give me a sword. Man, that's a good choice. I really do like bow and arrows, honestly. I actually don't know that I've ever shot one, but I would like to learn. I love horses. I love swords. Actually, I could pick all of these. I'm gonna go with the horse option. I think that's what I'm supposed to pick today. Alright, people are least likely to call you trusting, tame, withdrawn, sweet, doubting. Least likely to call you. Least likely to call you. Well, withdrawn people have called me that. They have called me sweet. They have called me trusting. They have called me doubting. So I guess tame. Right, the enemy's coming. What do you do? Face them. Gather forces. Find my best friend. Make a plan. Arrange my men. Make a plan. Who is your least favorite Narnia character? Susan. She never listens. Peter, he's so bossy. Lucy, she's such a crybaby. Susan, she always doubts me. I love them all. It's interesting that Edmund is not included in this list. Actually, Susan is my least favorite character. So I think I was probably who I would pick of those options, because Susan's my least favorite character. Which of these is your dream house? a castle, an ocean beach house, the forest, a trendy house in the fancy suburbs, a huge log cabin. Well, I've seen log cabins catch fire, so that's out. And I'm not one to be on the ocean. I'm not a beach person. Castle might be too big. So probably the forest. Which one are you? Loyal follower, natural leader, cautious plan maker, I follow my beliefs, I am who I am. Well, that's a good question. I've been a follower a lot in my life, but I've also been a leader at times. Probably the cautious plan maker, to be honest. We'll go there. Who's your favorite character? Aslan, Susan, Edmund, Peter, or Lucy? For me, it is really a draw between Edmund and Lucy. I love both of them. I love Edmund because he has a redemption arc story, which is it's just an incredible story. It makes you kind of feel like, okay, well, if Edmund can be redeemed, so can I. I love Lucy because she has this just incredible faith, and it's the faith of a child. So I think I'll pick Lucy, but I do like both of them. View my results. Let's see if it'll let me. I'm Lucy. I am not surprised. You got Lucy Pevensey. You are Queen Lucy the Valiant. Sweet, gentle, and loving, you are innocent and trusting. You can be very brave when inspired, and you always cling to what you believe is right and true. You trust what you can't see and hope for what you believe. The last part I wish was true. I'm a little bit more doubter, but still. I love Lucy, so that's awesome. I'm good with that result. That one's great. All right, dice roller, where are we going next? We already done one, so we can't do one again. Number 3, well, we're going in order. That's new, but okay then. Number 3 is, what Pusheen character are you? All right, here we go. Which Pusheen are you? Ooh, okay, there's one on the Pusheen website. Awesome. Let's give that one a try once it loads. I'm trying to be very careful because the internet's been a little bit dicey today, so there we go. Let's see how this goes. I love Pusheen. So in case none of you know Pusheen the cat, this is Pusheen the cat. So Pusheen is actually basically a comical character. And I can't remember the whole story. I know she's actually based on a real cat that belongs to a lady, and she thought she was adorable, decided to make a little animated sprite of her. People loved it, so she went so far as even writing books and doing little comic strips. And I mean, as you can see, there is now an entire place you can buy stuff from. Excuse me. They have plushes and they have all kinds of memorabilia and stuff. She's become a very popular character, and I am a huge fan. All right, what kind of Pusheen are you? It's snack time. What will you eat? Toast, cotton candy, rainbow cookie, seaweed chips, sprinkle donut, sorbet, tea and a biscuit, fresh fruit, leftovers. Snack time. I'm leaning towards the donut, honestly, guys. All right, how would you describe yourself? Pick 3. Beautiful, strange, strong, independent. Well, definitely that one. Funny, shy. Refined, fashionable, mysterious, intelligent. We'll go for strong. Okay. You have the day off. What will you do with it? Take a walk outside. Get your hair done. Spend all day at home in your PJs. Help others. Go to the beach. Host a barbecue. Chill with your best friends. Read a good book. Explore your neighborhood. If I have a day off, I'm probably going to spend it at home in my PJs. If I'm being honest, although I do like helping others. And reading. I'm chilling with friends. But this would probably be what I was doing. Then this is color. Which color do you prefer? purple, yellow, pink, green, peach, blue, cream, black, or white? I'm going to go with blue today. How do you typically deal with conflict? Smash and burn. Suggest a logical resolution. Smooth things out with your charm. Avoid any conflict at all costs. That's my brother. Tackle issues before they get bigger. Ignore it. You have more important things to do. Conflict. What's that? Resolve it with the power of friendship. That's funny. Run away. Okay. Suggest a logical resolution. That's my dad. Good question. I might suggest a logical resolution or tackle issues before they get bigger. We're gonna go with this one this time. What would you prefer to wear? Jeans and a tee, a cute dress, lots of accessories, an oversized hoodie. Ooh, I do like oversized hoodies. A freshly ironed shirt, something with sparkle. A futuristic look, a team jersey, a studded jacket. Well, if any of you have been able to tell so far, I wear jeans and a tee a lot. So it's that one or the oversized hoodie, but I think we're going to go with jeans and a tee for today. Which best describes your sleep habits? Sleep? I'm just kidding. I do sleep. I mostly sleep when people are awake. I'm a night owl. I'm a morning person. No. I'm a frequent nap taker. Yes. Simply 8 hours, no fuss. 10 plus hours of sleep required to function. I don't need sleep. I'm a night owl. What would you prefer to receive as a gift? New shoes, cash, a diamond ring, a pearl necklace, a bookstore gift card, a houseplant, cute cosmetics, perfume, or something edible. A bookstore gift card. Let's see. For more information, enter email to sign up for our newsletter. Skip this and show me my results. Thank you. You're a classic Pasheen. Funny, lazy, and undoubtedly lovable, you're definitely a classic Pasheen. Although you generally like to conserve your energy, you'll do just about anything for your friends. It's true. They may need to bribe you with treats first, but that's the best point. That's beside the point. I do like free food. I won't argue on that one, but yes, that is pretty accurate. That doesn't surprise me either. Classic Pasheen. Cool. Well, that was fun. All right, dice roller. I think we've got 2 more to go. We can't do that one. We already did it. We already did that one too. It's stuck. Guys, we've done those. 5. Thank you. Okay, that's a different. What Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door character are you? Ooh, goody goody. I do like this game. Okay. Came up. Well, I like Pro Prof, so why don't we try that? Let's give it a shot. Good. Let me see. Is that partner? Okay, so that's the partners. Well, we'll give it a try. Why not? Let's try. The worst, we could do 2 of them. That would work. Okay. What Paper Mario Thousand-Year Door partner are you? There are some really cool partners. What is your job? I'm a teacher. I'm a student or work at school. I'm an actress. I work part-time at a fast food restaurant. I'm currently unemployed. I'm a sailor. I'm a wrestler. I'm a hostess. I'm a mayor in training. I'm in or was in the Navy. I'm a helmsman. I'm a servant. I'm a ninja. I'm a thief. I'm currently unemployed, so that would be the most accurate one. What's your favorite drink? Fruit soda, milk, water. I don't need to drink. Red wine. Favorite drink. Fruit soda. What is your favorite color? Bright red, dark blue, forest green, royal purple, cool blue, strong pink, tan, rainbow, black, or gray. I'll go with purple this time. What's your favorite food? Surf and turf, seafood, a southern home-cooked meal, a gourmet meal, fast food, my mom's home cooking. Oh, the draw between my mom's home cooking and a southern home-cooked meal. I'm going to go with the southern home-cooked meal for now. But they're pretty close to each other anyhow. What kind of music do you listen to? Indian, pop, Japanese, whatever's on the radio, rock, or country? Well, we've already established I'm a country person. What's your hobby? Studying, learning, drama, to be or not to be, that is the question. Fashion, sailing, I love the sea, collecting and selling things, fighting, soccer, or magic. Well, it's not soccer because I tried, and that didn't go very well. Sometimes it is studying and learning, honestly. I like doing research when it's not school. Just silly, I know. Collecting things, I do that too. Let's do collecting and selling things. That might be pretty appropriate. Alright, this question does not affect your score at all. Which character do you think you got? That's a good question. Bella, Coops, Madame Flurry, the Yoshi Kid, Vivian, Miss Mouse, Admiral Bobbery. One of the top secret bonus characters. I mean, if I had to guess, I probably got Bella or Vivian. I'm gonna guess Vivian. Where do you live? All alone in the middle of a forest. I travel the world looking for living legends of history's past. I live in the shadows I am never seen. I travel the world fighting people. A small town. I travel the world looking for valuable things to acquire. I live with my ship. I live in a bustling city. I live in a peaceful village. I live in a dark and gloomy town. I live on a beautiful tropical island. I live in a nice house. I live in a champion's room because I'm a champ. Well, I do sometimes feel like I live in the shadows and am never seen, to be honest with you, because I am pretty invisible. But I guess I live in a nice house would be the most accurate statement. Let's see what our results are. Oh, I'm Madame Flurry. That is not who I expected to be at all. Alrighty then. You got Madame Flurry. You might be kind-hearted, sweet, and an overall nice person. Well, she is that. Those are true statements. She is. That's funny. That is not what I expected to get, but okay. Let's see then. Roll. We can't do 1. We can do 6. Oh, Uncharted. Here we come. All right. Which Uncharted character are you? This should be fun. Okay. I'm liking Pro Prof so far. That one seems to be doing pretty good for us. U-Quiz is just usually a little bit too... Yeah. We'll just stop there. Okay. Which Uncharted character are you? Which of these quality... Okay, so first of all, though, I do want to highlight. Does anyone know... Oh yeah, about this quiz. Good, it has a section for you. Okay. Then it means that you must have played the popular Uncharted game series, right? Alright, so let me explain. Uncharted is a game series on the PlayStation. And it is a story, ongoing story about a treasure hunter named Nathan Drake who's consistently getting himself into more trouble than he is finding treasure. So, it's I think it's got 4 according to that. Technically 5 games because there's a bonus game, which doesn't have Nathan in it, but it's still connected to him. So, it's got 5 games. They're all really good. My brother's played through all of them, and I really enjoy the storyline. I won't spoil it for you in case you are a gamer and might plan to play it. Uncharted is a really cool game series. It's an excellent story. You see Nathan's character develop over time. He's got this kind of kooky mentor, and he's got this girlfriend who keeps him grounded and later on becomes his wife. They end up having, so there's a lot of really cool twists and turns in the story. There's an ex-girlfriend that shows up, trying to keep it on the down low. But anyway, so it's a good game series. So in case you don't know, lots of people know Mario, which is why I don't go into Paper Mario, but and charter may not be as well known, so I thought I'd just highlight that. Okay, which of these qualities do you want your future partner to have? Good sense of humor, intelligence, caring and helpful nature, good looks, and charming personality. Well, technically it'd be both of the ones on the left, but intelligence would also be good. Like 3 of those. But I think probably a good sense of humor is in the top tier for that. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how smart are you? Very smart. 10 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I'm just at an average 5 out of 10. Not smart at all. I'm gonna go with 7. Which of these mind games can you excel? Sudoku, chess, crosswords, none of the above. I can do crosswords. Which of these words suits your personality type? Charming, humorous, and determined. Confident, efficient, and ambitious. Smart, intelligent, and sexy. Witty, sarcastic, and brave. Well, those are hard to pick from. Technically, I would be a mixture of several of these, not just one of these sets, because I feel like the one I'm closest to, like, I'm not the sexy part, but smart and intelligent do work. Charming, humorous, and determined might be my best category there. We'll go with that one. Alright, how would your friends describe you? Intelligent, clever, ambitious, arrogant, compassionate. Compassionate. Which of these holiday destinations do you like the most? Paris, Switzerland, Hawaii, Maldives, or Dubai? Be honest with you, none of these are exactly my pick, but my gut says Switzerland, so we'll go there. Which of these unmatched characters would you date? Nathan Drake, Chloe Fraser, Elena Fisher, Samuel Drake, none of them. Probably Elena. I'm not lesbian, but if I were going to pick a character, although to be fair, Nathan is also a really good guy, so we'll pick Nathan. Which of the following options sounds like your dream profession? Scientist, robber, FBI agent, or detective? I mean, scientist or detective, probably. My gut says we go to the top. What's your gender? I'm a female. Why should I tell that? It's unrelated to this quiz. You should guess that on your own. I'm a male. Which of these uncharted characters do you dislike the most? Wish I could remember their names. I don't dislike Eddie that much. He's actually just kind of funny. I wish I could remember their names, but I can't remember. These two, I think, are 2 big bads. These 2 over here are 2 big bads, but I don't remember which one of them is worse to fight. Because I don't play the games, I watch my brother play them. So, we're gonna go with Zora. Alright, let's see what our results are. I'm Chloe. Oh, that does surprise me. Looks like you're a really confident, efficient, and ambitious person. Therefore, we've concluded that your personality soulmate in the Uncharted game series is Chloe. Okay, so that's not accurate. I would have probably put my money on being Nathan, actually. Because I'm not confident. Or ambitious. I can be efficient, though, but I struggle with my confidence, to be honest. That's funny. I do like Chloe, but I would not have picked her. Alright, let's see where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that'll be the end of today. That concludes our quiz time. I would not have picked Chloe, but okay. Alright, so hi guys. There's some interesting quiz results. So we got a nice bot that's over here. So it's there. The chat's over here. Oh, we got a nice bot that joined our chat group. That's funny. Okay. Yes. All right. So that concludes quiz time. This is a Q&A period. Usually, I would ask everyone who's watching, they have any questions, and I would give them live answers. I'm going to go back and look at my previous videos and see if there are any. I don't think that there are, but I'm just going to go back here and check to make sure that y'all haven't posted any questions for me that I've missed. Let me see here. Gotta find my playlist. There I am. Alrighty. No comments there. No comments there. And there's one more. No comments there. Alright, so there are no comments. So, alright. And there are no questions to answer at this time, which is okay. So we will move on from the Q&A to our inspiring quote for the day, I believe. That's where we will be. Let me see here. Yep, it's time for our inspiring quote. Today's inspiring quote is actually from a Facebook post that I saw once, and I saved the image. So here we go. We should be lifting each other up and cheering each other on, not trying to outshine or one-up each other. The sky would be awfully dark with just one star. Stacy Martin. And I have to agree. We really should. It's a hard thing, but it would be much better if we were lifting each other up and cheering each other on than trying to beat one another. The beauty of the sky is that there are so many stars. So, I do agree with that. So, I believe that concludes our live stream for today. It is going to be a little bit shorter, actually, than the last time. Although I guess I could talk for another 10 minutes and give you guys an exact 2 hours, if you like. But yeah, that concludes that's our live stream. I hope that everybody enjoyed. And if you, are watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it too. So, I think I covered everything. I'm double checking because I'm such a scatterbrain today. But thank you everyone for joining. I hope that you have a blessed week. I will see you next time. Again, be watching my YouTube channel, which is also Peppy Cloud EQ, and be watching my X account, which is also, again, Peppy Cloud EQ. They are linked to this account, to my Twitch account too, so they're easy to find. Be watching those for announcements of when I will do the next live stream, because I will announce it probably the day of, or just before I start, and then you'll know. So just keep an eye there. I can't give you a specific date because it kind of varies depending on what I'm doing or what the weather's like and when I can go to the barn. So I do have to kind of plan around those things, and since they're so weather related, it can be difficult. So just keep an eye out on X and YouTube for me, and you'll know, oh, okay, she's going to be on. Oh, she's not going to be on, etc. So there you go. I was looking at my hair there. I was like, as you see, my hair's down this time. I did leave it down. So no, I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section of the VOD of this live stream, which will be posted on my YouTube shortly. And if you have any prayer requests or you have any praises you'd like to share, feel free to leave those in the comments too. And you can always leave them in the chat if you're watching. I'd be happy to read them. I'd love to share in your joy and to pray for you. Yeah, have a blessed week. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm kind of trying to fill the space so we can get to 2 hours, which is kind of silly, I guess. I could probably just stop. Kind of went by pretty fast today. Unintentionally, but yeah, I am running late. So. Welcome to my world. I'm not typically on time. But yeah, so thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And have a blessed week. I will see all of you next time, and I'm going to put something up that none of you need to really be concerned with here. This is for the people who are watching on YouTube. trying to think if there's anything else I need to announce or say. I don't think so. Oh, so I will continue to do the horse product reviews for a little while, but I might alternate between them and the art rewards reviews, just so that you know. There might be sort of back and forth things since I don't typically get 4 weeks in for my streams. I usually stream for 3 weeks out of a month, so because of that, I might change that over and kind of go alternating back and forth with the art reward reviews and the horse product reviews, instead of them each having their own week. And then we'll of course continue with the personal care items and the brain. Personal care items and the food. I swear, I do actually have a functioning mind. It just doesn't look like it, I'm sure. It doesn't come across that way, but it is there. Okay. Bye, guys. I'm gonna put this up real quick. You don't need to worry about this for YouTube, but thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.